Gizmo. We're back doing the license tests. We're at the license centre now, and we've completed B. Music Rally is complete. Got 21% of this process done. And we're taking it relatively slowly. We're progressing our way through. We've just completed A1, and we're moving on to A2. This is Deep Forest Raceway in the Porsche 911 Turbo, Racing Line Beginner 1. And for any of you that know this track at Deep Forest, this is the very interesting first corner. I've just pressed the wrong button. We'll learn the basics of in and out, out, in, out cornering. I'll try and say that again. A2 is Racing Line Beginner 1, where you'll learn the basics of out, in, out cornering. According to Sarah, it's a fundamental principle of cornering, as she says. Take the corner from the outside of the track, moving inwards the middle and out again at the exit, making use of the full width of the track. We're going to aim for a 16-120. As we can see on the right there, the friends list is pretty hot. The friends list do be fucking with that. I don't know who that is. Whoever that is, you're quick. In December there, in second, Max in third, Binder fourth, Socom Hitman is there on the way up, Turbo Tom in sixth, Damien's there, Lee's there, Lee, and BDR Mickey. There's a few we've seen, a few we haven't, but looking pretty hot on the time. 15.830 will not get you in the world top 10. That's where we're really truly aiming to try and get to. Settings for today. Assist, we will always start traction control 1, default ABS. The counter steer assistance on strong. And then the wheel. We're on a Fanatec DD Plus, is the GT Extreme wheel. And we've got the settings at force feedback, max torque. Can't say it. We've got the settings at force feedback, max torque 8, and force feedback sensitivity at 6. So, turn 1, we've got to look for the braking point, which will probably be somewhere along the curb edge start, the red and white curbs. Going to hit the apex, then going to run out onto the curbs and running up the hill. We've done this lap time many a times with trying to set the records at the Human Forest. Human Forest? At the Human Comedy. Let's see where we can go. 16-120 is the key first time. Coming down there at quite a clatter. So, braking point. Let's find that braking point. We got that properly wrong, didn't we? We started at the end of the curb. This is probably going to be the 150. Counter steer, traction control. Nothing is going to fix that. Horrible Porsche. Let's see where we can go. Got to find that braking point. It is the 150. Try and get it straight for the accelerate. Gold first time across the line. And then we've just got to get better and better and better. First thing we're going to do, we're going to end this. Register. Gonna have a look at it, of course. Coming through the line. Looking for that braking point. On the 150. Does it look smooth? Does it look clean? Do we hit the apex? We don't really. We're well wide of it. We use all the curb on the run out. And head up the hill to pass the line. So we're going to go for the ghost settings. And I think the ideal for this is going to be 0.6, I would think. Chasing it down the hill. Braking on the 150. We improve. So what I'm noticing is I'm tending to slide out that little bit wider and attempting to cut a late apex. Oh, we've gone to the grass. Not good. Let's see if we can just try a margin earlier on the brakes, just before the 150. Had to opposite lock. No good. Now my frailty in this game has always been the rear... try and talk. My frailty has always been the rear wheel drive. We've missed the braking point. My frailty in this game has always been the rear wheel drive cars. Especially those that are really quite loose. I can't feel the back end go. And it's something I've had to learn quite intently. Nope. I'm struggling with this car sliding currently under braking. So one thing I've had to learn with these cars, the rear wheel drive especially, is to try and manage the cars into the corner. Lots of rear end loosage. To try and be smooth on and off the brakes. I've missed the braking point, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Gold relatively easy to achieve. To beat gold is going to be tricky with this, because this is not my strong point, this kind of car on this kind of corner. There's just no way in the world that that car should spin like that. That's terrifically bad. Trying to avoid that inside curb, but in doing so, it's taking me a long time to get back to the throttle. A long time. Is a 15 possible? Will a 15 be any good for us? We've been normally taking an hour over these tests, so I shouldn't just quit out because I don't like the car and the test itself. I can't get on the throttle. Can't get on the throttle at all without it losing the back end. I'm going to have to be very progressive and very smooth with the throttle, aren't I? That's what I've got to learn to do. Yeah, no. I wonder if it needs third gear into the corner. Let it slide in third. Yeah, it's not even gold. So it's got to be second coming out the corner. Really got to really aim to get that. No. No. Really got to aim to get that trail braking working effectively and get the car to the exit. This is where I'm weak. Very weak. No good. Come on, let's make progress. Come on. What am I doing wrong? Have I got to carry more pace with the car round the corner and then get on the throttle much, much later? i.e. let the car roll. There we go. So there's the first indicator of the technique. It's all about letting the car roll through the corner. I don't think that's going to be anywhere near getting on the friends list, is it really? That didn't register. It did. 8th place. It didn't record there though. 15994 gets us to 8th. We've only got a 10th to go. There's me kicking myself. And we're actually on target for getting where we need to get to. This is a tough test and I was being hypercritical. Shouldn't be that way, should we really? Interesting. We didn't record that on our friends list. I don't know why. Strange. 4th gear, flat out. Very progressive on the throttle. 15918 does it. That's actually an improvement. Up to 5th place. 4th place already. We're putting Binder down to 5th. That's what I was trying to say. So just another 10th and we're on our way. Let's keep going. Let's try and maximise this. I think we've got some more braking distance in here. It's a drift car that was just wrecked. There's no way you could drift this Porsche. No way. A little bit of opposite lock got us there. Wasn't gold though. Decent time, but it wasn't really where it needed to be. Come on. This is not easy, this little challenge. Try and let the car roll till we can get to the acceleration point. 984. Come on. Decent times. Hoping for an 8. Or a break just after the 150. That was slow because we didn't get back to the apex. Come on. We're kind of working it out. I need to brake earlier, that's for sure, and try and get the car to roll into the corner. So I'm going to brake on the 150. I'm just going to let the throttle off. Let the car roll then on it later. Oh, just rolled too wide. I think that was going to be slow anyway, but this is really challenging gold time, I must admit. Some people would be happy with that time. That would get them where they needed to be. So often let the car roll. 150 brake. I'm giving it too much throttle leaving mid-corner kind of thing. That equaled my first time, look, some 13 minutes later. Wonder if there's... Trying to do too much. I think I've got to keep it simple. That's a whole 10th slower than where I need to be. My Ghost is the one to follow. My Ghost was slower into the corner than I currently am. Slower in and then he's faster out. Nada. I'm leaning left into this corner. It's really bad that I'm leaning left into the corner, that is. It's a 994. I think we've done a 994 before. I'm going to brake later and harder. Got to maintain that. That line is really good. Nope. This circuit's really smooth, so I wonder if... No good. I wonder if the move to weak might change something. It's worth a try. Oh, same problem. Turned in too early. Cut the corner way too early. I'm going to brake that little fraction later. Too much counter steer. I've also found out quitting before the line when you know you're slow is actually way quicker than going through the line and having to do the name thing. I put my foot on the throttle then and then had to take it off. Definitely feel I want to raise my steering wheel. My left knee has just caught the wheel on the left hand side. And I'm also realizing I'm not getting my leg in a straight line with the brake pedal, which is a posture problem. But I'm really having to... No. I want to let the car roll through the corner, and I'm not doing it at the minute. I'm currently braking, then trying to accelerate straight away. The way we got success was by letting the car with speed roll around the corner. The technique to be fast in this game is to allow the cars to roll through it. They've got grip without acceleration or brake. That wasn't quite what was needed. Coming back to where we need to be. I'm finding it again. I've been losing it. I've been trying too hard. Just lost it with the opposite counter steer. All good enough for goal, but just not good enough to make progress. Kind of thrashing away at this. Oh, I accelerated too early. Didn't let the car roll then. Come on. See what we can do. Felt the front end lock up. So I suppose the next thing to do is to see if the gear slam will work. See if we can drag the back end into the corner, screaming and kicking. It felt like it made the braking distance so much longer. Not quite. making any sort of gain. Losing it a little bit. Brake that little bit earlier. See if we can... No. Didn't fully get the slide through the corner there. We're not really making any great progress. We're not finding a repeatable technique, are we? We're not touching that best time anywhere near at all. No. Still gold, but not anywhere near where we need to be. So let's see if we can follow that ghost and do exactly what that ghost do. Maybe we need to bring it closer now. Look where it came off the brakes. So let's end at this point. Let's go to the ghost. See if we can use the tools that they provide us with. See if we can start to replicate and improve a little bit. We're on different braking, so let's see if we can So it felt quicker because we were nearer the ghost, but in honesty, the time will tell us whether we're quicker or not. We've just got to replicate what he does. Watch for the brake lights when he comes off the brakes. That's when the trick is. The trick is coming off the brakes at the right point, and I think we need to try and follow a slightly wider line. Da 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 da. I'm guessing that 15918 was a bit of a fluke, because I haven't been able to replicate it at all. Yeah, over a tenth and a half behind. No good. It feels it, but it's not. That one can be assured of. Tenth slower. No good. I'll let the car try and scrub speed itself, I think. Because I'm slamming the anchors on. No, that felt really good. And then just putting the gas on, the car just started to chase away. But we're not really using the internal apex, are we? We're not actually. Touching that inner curb. That's coming back to where we should have. We've been putting 944s in though. So it kind of feels better, but we've got to get the gain going into the corner. Feel the car coming in. That's what we've got to do. Got to feel that grip with the front wheels. That's where we're carrying speed on the turn-in. .937's making it come back. That's let it slide away, hasn't it? I'm just wondering whether we need to go to 0.1 to really start to try and no, the opposite lock lost us that. Wasn't gold with that superb drift either. Such a shame. Can't be inside the line. I've got to be outside the line of what we've just done. I immediately go to inside the line. It was actually a really good one, that 15918. Really, really good. He just got on the gas that smidgen earlier, didn't he? 15905. Oh, yes. It's come around. Come around at the end. Yeah, that was slightly different, wasn't it? I felt the ghost car had got the throttle earlier, but the technique is working. It is kind of finding its feet. We hit the apex probably about 7 o'clock if we're thinking about a clock face. I don't think that's improved any, has it? No, we're still in fourth. We've just got that little bit further to go. Needs an 8 to be up there amongst the big boys. Let's see if we can just keep following that line and keep finding it. It's there to be had. Too slow, too slow, too slow, I think. Yeah. Got on the gas far too abruptly. It flows nicely, but it's slow. A whole tenth slower. Got to make the gains under braking. That's where they are. Can't brake that late. Trying to steal a second. Trying to steal a tenth. Even trying to steal a tenth is a lot of money in this game. Oh, it just steered round on me. I think if we can see an 8, I think we're about as good as we can be. Let's keep chasing this ghost into the corner. I was a bit too late to the throttle, wasn't I, really? An 8 would be tremendous. .939, that's a decent time. Be pleased with that. Nah. No. Got to be going slightly wider line on the entry. And I've got to bring it back on the throttle transition, on the brake transition to throttle. No. Into the throttle too early. You can feel me, I can feel me rocking off the brake. And then I'm just giving the throttle a little bit whilst we're braking. It's the technique we need. It's almost throttle and brake together. Almost. Got to do that earlier. Got to do that earlier. We're getting there. We're kind of getting there. Yeah, really felt really good. Just got to chase that ghost in that little bit. .933. It's kind of where it works. Just got to chase that ghost in a little bit more. Rock off the brake, then get back to just a little bit of throttle. We didn't get that right. No. No. Now what I'm realizing, you don't have to brake as hard as you think you do. Now I know that's slow, but I didn't stamp the brake. I just had the car, I was just pressing the brake and it was slowing down. I wasn't absolutely mashed on the brake. Oh. Oh, no need to mash and stamp on the brake. Oh, finding things out, learning, experiencing. Searching. Oh yeah. Let's not make it quite as exhausting as it could be. Let's just give it some. Oh, that felt so good. Couldn't catch the back end then. $879. Yes. That's tremendous. Oh, let's have a look at this then. What did we do differently? Well, we're not pressing the brake tremendously hard. We're trying not to slide. Whilst we're not sliding then, we're coasting into the corner, trail braking in. There was a little puff on the left-hand side of the wheel, broken. But it's so smooth, running that inside line on the gas nice and early. And we're chasing that ghost. A little bit of dust off the right-hand wheel as we creep over the curb. But that is the 879 we were looking for. It only pops us up one place, but we're above Mad Max. We're into the top 3. We've got 0.49 to go. We're not anywhere near these boys. We're into a 7. So, is there any more? Have we just found that little bit? The 8 was feeling good. No. Don't have to stamp on the brake. Oh. It's all about smooth and delicate control. It's about precision. And being gentle. That was slow again. Almost to the point of needing to change gears. If you really get on the throttle nice and early, you can potentially change gear upwards in the final run-in. That would be a real puzzler to get your brain round. That's feeling good. That is just about not hammering the brakes too hard. I was trying to be too aggressive, and you don't have to be. All you have to do is get your foot on the brake. Let the car roll in, lift off. Meld back in on the throttle. Oop. How many times do we have to do this? You're just going to find it. I just don't want to encourage. I don't want any ABS to cut in. Oh, yeah. Can I be this delicate on the brakes? Can I be? That's too much. That skipped across. An 879 for me is good. Especially rear wheel drive, really feisty car. We didn't let... I believe I can now brake later by not hammerizing the brakes. What I'm doing then and this might be prevalent in all my racing, is I might be braking too hard in all forms of racing, and the ABS is preventing me from getting quicker. That might be where the problem is, you know. That might be why. There's me thinking I'm a problem in the brakes, but it could be ABS, and it's the fact I can't see that ABS indicator. Wow. I just got to feel these brakes. I got to feel where that maximum braking point is. So that's potentially where the problem is. Braking too hard in all forms of racing. Oh, just followed the ghost. Just trying not to let the back end kick out. I want to try and go wider on the entry. Just run that little line just a little bit longer. Trying. We're just trying. Not working yet. But we're just trying. You're not going to believe this. I need to pee. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I don't believe is there a way of save recent gameplay? Full video. Okay, that's going to be interesting. How to get that to wherever I'm going. Okay. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're here at My First Gran Turismo and we are again pushing on these licenses. Now I have a confession, I really enjoy these tests and I've been enjoying them, and I've jumped into this tonight and I've done my intro. I've gone and run it for around about best part of 50 minutes and realised I didn't press record. So I've gone from no time to a really good time and I haven't been able to talk you through it. So I've saved the gameplay and I'm going to insert into the video here that initial bits and pieces. But I'm going to run through everything we would normally do. And I'll blank out the times. So settings for today will be assist, traction control 1, weak ABS, counter-steer assistance on strong. Settings, we're on a Fanatec DD Plus, it's a GT Extreme, Force Max feedback torque 8, force feedback sensitivity 6. So we've got a really good friends list, really good. If we just ignore the fact I'm somewhere in the middle there, and I won't have the gameplay from what I showed earlier, but for those guys to have the times they do in December, Mad Max, etc., you can see my time there, 15.879. We're not very far away from making improvements, and if we go back to my record list, you can see a 20.48. We started with our first lap. 20.49 didn't take much longer. 20.57 not longer. 21.18 much longer. And then 21.28. About 40 minutes it took to get that 15.879. So what I'm going to do is now talk you through a couple of runs through this and then see if we can start to push it. And I'll give you the indicators of where I've discovered things are and how to make that gain. So here we go, we're going to come down to the start-finish line. The key thing you've got to look for is that braking point. That braking point for me is the 150. And brake nice and gently, trying not to trigger too much of that ABS. You can see the car there, we've got a go set to 0.2. You can see as we're coming around the corner, we're just nice and smooth. 16.253 is not inside the ghost, but we were trying to demonstrate the technique. So as we come down here again, we're going to start to try and push. We're going to follow that ghost and we're going to try and put those increments in and try not to trigger the ABS too much. And there's lots of that today, lots of that. Getting to the throttle too early, giving it too much. So the interesting thing here is about getting the car to follow the ghost into the corner. But really try and close up on it, let the car roll, get on the gas, smooth and even. Ghost got away from us. And there we go, a 15.930 is a really good start. You can see that would have got us fourth. So I was really hammering the brakes, and as I do every day, I hammer the brakes, I really give it the bean. But you don't need to, it's just about getting the pedal. We're still actuating that ABS. When the red bit happens at the top of your brake pedal, that's the ABS taking over and it's restricting your braking, lengthening your braking. So the ideal is to really get your foot onto the brakes and just ease them on. Get into the back of the Ghost. Open the steering wheel up and drive for the line. 913. That's actually a really, really decent time. That'll get you up the leaderboard quite a long way. You've just got to brake just after the 150. Get the car to turn in nice and gently. Roll off the throttle. Sorry, off the brake. Onto the throttle. Oh, we've gone. So as we're coming down here, gently onto the brakes, get the braking meter to go as high up as you can without activating the red. Slide up behind the Ghost. Down to second. Let the car roll in. No throttle, no brake. Back on the throttle. Too late. And then get the car to run to the line. As you can see, we're tragically slow. It's still gold, but we're pushing for faster time. So what we want to do here, as we said, just roll onto the brakes. Let the gears do it. Counter steer. Not good enough. It's fine margins. Very, very fine margins. See what we can do. Oh, I've missed the braking point. That happens occasionally. See if we can do one of these good ones. Wide too wide a line. Don't need to press the brakes. Don't need to smash them through the back of the floor, which is what I've been doing. Hey. Never good. As I'm doing these things, I'm trying to find ways that I've got to improve as a driver to be able to convey to you guys how to do the same. Trying to find where the code is for this game about how to drive these cars. I'm 100% sure we can all be as fast as the pros with a little bit of application, a little bit of technique, a little bit of just understanding. And my biggest problem is convincing my brain that it's the right thing to do. It's the right speed, it's the right... Oh, 915. That's a good time. But just not getting the braking point precise enough. Just that little bit later to be able to roll into the back of the Ghost. We were just too early on the throttle. I hope to be able to show you that 879. That would be nice. 915 again. So we're going to try and run a nice wide arc, cutting back to the apex just after the midpoint. And then getting on the gas nice and steadily to allow a good run out, nice and smooth. We're not there. Just outbraked yourself a little bit going into T1. No throttle, no brake, just try and roll up on the back of the Ghost. Now we blew that. How many times do I have to run this corner to understand how fast we need to go? Back end just went. The throttle application was too quick from nothing. I think I need to be bringing in the throttle maybe as we're just lifting off rather than after we've lifted off and let it coast. There isn't that big surge of power there. I say surge of power. This thing's probably about 220, 230 brake horsepower. It's not going to be tremendously massive. Yeah. I can't let it roll out that wide. Hey. Was actually too tight there. Go. Come on. Felt the back end go. .928's pretty good, but it's not the numbers. Come on, Widow. You know you've got this. Come on. Yay! I was so close. Just got to roll this in there, braking on the 150, nice and steady. Let the car roll on the gas, progressive, progressive, progressive. Too much! I think I was on that curb on the inside, which just spun things up. See if we can just... No, it's gone way earlier. Nothing to do with that curve on the inside at all. Go, come on, come on. Confidence. Ah. The AI managed to hold that, believe it or not. Try and go. Oh, we just lost it to the Ghost there. .926 is not as quick as we've been. A long time since we've done an 879. tried to counteract the steering, but with that you just lose the power because you're opposite locking. Come on. Let's find that technique again. Come on. Really quite annoyed at myself for not clicking the record button. Come on. 15.8 something. 15.8 something. Didn't quite have the acceleration. Come on. Let's do it. It's going to take hundreds of laps. Hundreds and hundreds of laps, isn't it? Hundreds. You just pulled away. Come on. Let's try and do all the things we've put together. Brake just on the 150. Don't activate the ABS. I noticed there with the braking marker thing that the ABS is still acting no matter what. Maybe if I turn the ABS off. No, let's go and have a go. Let's go and throw all ends up. Let's go and see what the actual fuss and palaver is. See if it's actually because I'm pressing the brakes too hard. Oh, listen to them brake lock up. Listen to that. There's a lesson in this, isn't there? Wow, you've really got to have that sense. No, we've just realised ABS is for us. When you're this rubbish, ABS on. Let's go default for a little while. We've been on weak for a little while, but let's see if default can mess things up for us. Let's see if it can. Because we've been on weak and it's been playing weak. Doesn't feel too bad. We should be in weak. We should be in default, I believe, because we're not a race car. We're a road car on quite a rough track. Shimao. That was not good. That felt so good. It wasn't good to lose it at the end, but we were alongside the Ghost. Oh, we know we can chase in now. We know we can chase that Ghost into the corner. Let's not brake too aggressively. Let's brake progressively. Oh yes, a 15.844 and I was recording this time. There is the difference. Let's see where that puts us. You'll see us top of the tree. Let's have a look. Let's see where it goes. Through the start finish line, looking for that braking on the 150. Apply the brakes, but be so gentle. Try not to activate the ABS. Chase the Ghost in. Then drive it around the corner. Blend the throttle. Meld the throttle in. Then push up the hill. Try not to stray too far to the right and blast through the finish line. Does that get us anywhere near the top of our friends list? I can't remember. Breaks us to second, just above in December. So now we've just got to get to the top. We've just got that one more step to go. So let's keep going. We're learning. This is tremendous to be able to learn this in this game. This is helping me with the main GT7. So I think it's tremendous that we're actually messing with the settings, taking the time. Some people have said to me, oh, we're just blasting out times, first, second, gold, it doesn't really matter. And then you're taking an hour or so to beat us. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm learning. This is the ideal way. If you're not very good at GT7, if you're not as convinced as you are that you can be a great driver, you can learn this way. You can use these to hone your skills. Use these to start to understand the game. Try and understand what's required of you to go fast. How to go fast, how to be fast. And it's one go and we get a good one eventually. We're just trying to do it. Behind. It's going to be that one go every so often, isn't it? I don't know if I can see a 7 in our time. I know I'm coming to the end of what would be an hour. Still decent times, but we need to get there. $150. Just saw the Ghost chase away from us there. Well, folks, whilst we believe there is probably some more time in there, that's probably the appropriate length of time for the video. I do apologise for this being slightly different and not being about how we can get faster by showing you the laps, but more of a discussive kind of panicked video at the end when I realised I wasn't saving things. So let's go take a look at the final positions for today. Our fastest time of 15.844. We've I say rocketed. We have moved straight up the list in such a way to get into second place, which is no detriment to those drivers around us. But to be fugging in with that is at the top of the tree there, only just ahead of us, 0.016. He did it a few days ago. So whoever you are, congratulations and well done. But we're just short of those top times. I think if I come back and apply myself, learn a little bit more, there's a 7 on the cards for us there, definitely. But thank you very much, folks. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Goodbye for now.